Hello, good afternoon. I'm very happy to be here. I thank a lot the organizers for involving me in this event. And I congratulate because this is the biggest Research and Innovation Day ever. And I'm especially honored because I was behind the organization of the very first Research and Innovation Day 11 years ago. So being here after 11 days, it's really a great honor. So my name is Tomasz, and I represent EURAXESS. The full name is EURAXESS Mobility of Researchers, as you learned from the quiz. And I will briefly introduce EURAXESS later in my presentation. I will keep the time, no worries. And yeah, the title is quite generic, maybe lame, but I believe that three of us are here to guide you to become as successful as the previous presenters in the previous session were. So, I don't want to offend you with this slide, but it's just to give you, to zoom out and give you the context. Why international collaboration with Europe? Why Europe? We all know that there are big elephants in the room, and Korea is shrimp between the whales. And Europe is there. The Free Trade Organization is in force for the last 12 years. Korea is a strategic partner. As we used to call it, we still call it like-minded partners, sharing the same values. So it's very natural for Korean organizations and Korean researchers to cooperate with Europe, maybe to balance against those forces that are around Korean Peninsula and Pacific Ocean. Horizon Europe did not pop out of the blue suddenly. It's a long framework program that started somewhere in the middle of '80s with very humble budget. And with every framework program, it was become bigger and bigger in terms of budget and collaboration. Horizon Europe is just a different name for framework program 9. Framework program 8 was called Horizon 2020. And the next framework program is slowly being discussed in Brussels. Most probably it will have bigger budget, but it's not decided yet. This was mentioned so many times, the biggest funding scheme in the world. And almost everyone in the world can benefit from Horizon Europe one way or another, as an institution, as an individual, in consortium, with your own research, and so on. This is, of course, your Bible. You've seen the slides so many times, but this is your Bible. If you want to cooperate under Horizon, this you know by heart. Pillar 1, top-down approach. Exactly. Pillar 1, bottom-up approach to science. Meaning that you, as an individual researcher, you come up with your own idea, you present the idea, as Emmanuel and others mentioned, excellence is the most important criterion to be selected as an individual researcher under two sub-programs of Pillar 1, European Research Council, and Marie Skłodowska-Curie Actions, ERC and MSCA. Pillar 2, the big brother, the main player of today, is for institutions, and it's a top-down approach, meaning that as an organization, as a company, as a startup, as a university, you must fit into certain thematic area that is given, and your research proposal must somehow fit into this given thema. This I will skip because it was covered so many times and will be covered by my colleague from National Research Foundation, 6 clusters, with digital industry and space being the biggest cluster when it comes to funding. Climate, energy, and mobility is the second biggest. 3 types of actions Emmanuel mentioned already. It's related to technological readiness level. Research and innovation actions are for more or less TLR 2 to 4, 5. Innovation actions are 4 to 7, 8, let's say, and coordination supporting actions are basically rising awareness campaign for already existing solutions and projects. This is Korea's participation in framework programs. They started slowly with framework program 4, and my point here is that with every FP, Korea's participation was bigger and bigger and bigger. Of course, Horizon Europe is ongoing. We expect that this number will be bigger, or is bigger actually, because my data are slightly out of date. That's the same, but in numbers. Once again, with every framework program, Korea's participation was bigger and bigger. These are the main actors from Korea that participated in framework programs. This is the last framework program, Horizon 2020. This data is slightly biased because of our combat against COVID pandemic. So this International Vaccine Institute, it's a European organization that has a branch office here in Korea. So again, one pandemic affected this budget and this participation. 68 participation in Horizon Europe by now. It's a symbolic number, but once again, it's higher with every year. Success rate of Korean participation is basically similar to the global rate. So Koreans are doing quite well. Of course, it depends on cluster, it depends on call, it depends on pillars, but more or less it's around 22.7% successful applications of all applied for. Mostly research performing organizations benefited from framework programs. You can see that private sector is benefited only 2 or 3% of the total budget. Digital industry and space is the cluster that is funded the most, and as you can see, Korean organizations were there. Marie Skłodowska Reactions is the one under Pillar 1 for individuals. 11 researchers actually has gone to Europe under Horizon 2020 and Horizon Europe. These are thematic fields, areas that Korea's participated in. Obviously, the one under Cluster 4, Cluster 3, and Cluster 5 were the most successful, the most popular one. And these are countries where collaborators with Korea come from. Again, it's slightly out of date because I think Spain is also somewhere higher in this ranking, second or even third. First, not Germany, but more or less those 3 are the most popular one among Korean organizations. This I am very happy to skip because this slide is obsolete. Korea is not a third country anymore. Korea is becoming associated, so forget this slide. I used to present it for years. I'm very happy not to present it now. This is the same. Korean participants, organizations will be able to benefit from Horizon budget directly. That's the message that is being repeated here all the time. I need to repeat it again. Now, the question I got the most often is, how shall I find a partner? How can I join the consortium? Where can I find a partner? Obviously, Emanuele mentioned funding and tender portals, participant portal, with calls being there, with this partners that are already interested in a particular call, 36 here, so you click there, you have contact information for them, 81 in this particular call. Not every call has partners that are interested in it. Some of them, so you have to click carefully. Now about myself and my program here. EURAXESS is a European Commission initiative that aimed to promote Europe as a research destination for Korea-based researchers of all nationalities, of all fields of science, and for organizations, startups, research performing organizations, institutes, and so on. And when I say Europe, I don't only mean EU member states, but this 16 or 19 right now associated countries, mostly countries around Europe, but also Canada, New Zealand, and soon Korea. What I do is I do not have my own funding. I provide information about how to get funded. So please contact me. I have a special portal where you can find information about potential partners, about potential host institutions. If you are an individual, you click for different key words for different fields, your research field, profile, sector, and so on. In my case, I'm a political scientist by education, and for me, now there is 44 jobs that I fit in somewhere in Europe. That's my portal dedicated only to Korea. Please become a community member, you will receive information about possible funding. Okay, I have to, the national contact points will be covered by my colleague. Enterprise Europe Network, this is something that was not mentioned. Please check the website. It's also a portal that you can find your partner. Cordis is very interesting. It was not mentioned today. Cordis is that database of the European Commission of all the projects that were funded under framework programs. If somebody was doing research on the FP, his name or the organization's name will be there. They have knowledge, they have know-how how to work under FPs, so please check Cordis as well. And of course, the most important thing is your own network. Events like this and other events, formal, informal, where you can connect with people, mingle with ideas. And I have to stop here probably, I guess, because I'm out of time. So thank you very much. I will be here. Please approach me if you have any questions. I will be happy to answer them.